Another conversation that we can have is around diversity. What if you are confronted or in a conversation with a person who's not like you? What if you're highly competitive, but the person that you're having a conversation very much occupies a more intimate space or a more people space? So actually they find that quite challenging, particularly if it becomes an overextension, because then it can become about win-lose. So it's having people realize that not everyone's like them. So how do you recognize difference? How do you communicate with somebody who's not the same as you? How do you acknowledge the difference as well and work well with it? So often we can work with teams. So we'll get everyone to do a Lumina Spark, and then we look at them as a whole team and we map them as a team. And it maps them in the 3 different personas as well. So we can see them as a team overall. We can see them as a team underlying, which is you when you're kind of left at peace, when you're not being interfered with by things externally around you. Your everyday tends to be the persona that people see. That's the one that you're conscious and project forwards. And then you've got your overextension, which, like I said, was the stressed one. Well, how does that look as a team? So we look at them as a team and say, where are your strengths? Where are you all kind of congregating? Does that work for you as a team in this environment? But we can also look at where the gaps are. We can have a look at them when they are overextended. So what if you became overextended at the same time as a team? What does that look like? And again, as an example, a lot of teams that operate at a senior level that I've worked with can be very outcome focused. They can sit in that outcome focused space. And the people space, not so much, because they're senior. They're driving the business. But it's like, well, what happens in that people space? When they become overextended, what I have seen is they all start to congregate towards the people space, which is quite interesting. But it's this tendency then to need to over collaborate when you get into these discussions. So these are just some of the experiences, just to give you examples of some of the conversations that can take place when we talk about Lumina.